So for the longest time, I fought the idea of team.
Wow.
Because I took pleasure in overwhelming my clients with my own acumen.
Welcome to the Speaking for Profit podcast, where we talk about how to monetize your message and how to up-level your income. I'm really looking forward to today's conversation with Asa Leveaux. We're going to talk a little bit about branding and how you yourself can become an icon. If you are listening now, then go on and subscribe. And if you're watching, go on and like and subscribe here on YouTube. We're just really excited to have you using your most valuable resource with us, which is your time. And as we know, we can't get that back. So let's get into today's conversation. Welcome to the stage, Asa Leveaux. How are you?
I am great today. How are you doing?
I'm good. I was reading over your bio, fam, and number one, Black don't crack. I just want to say that as we start the conversation. But I was loving that, you have such an amazing journey from being a veteran to doing some pastor work to supporting with some amazing brands around the world. And that's great, right? That's great. That's the branding. But what I always like to start these conversations off with is like, what's bringing you joy today and what's keeping you joyful in your business?
That's a podcast question. That's a good question. What's bringing me joy today? One thing that's bringing me joy in this moment is the gratitude of me still being here. Like, I'm still here.
Yes.
And if I think about it long enough, I'll start crying. Like, I'm still here. Like, there's definitely, for those of you who've seen the new Color Purple movie, that's a musical, there's a part in there when Celie talks about still being here, but she's singing it. And I resonate with that a lot in this moment. Recently, thinking about what I've had to do to get here, what it's taking to stay here, and just the different things, because it's not all branding. It's those moments when you're like, I don't even know how to get out of this. Like, how do I get I don't know how to get out of this. And and I'm still here. So the joy is in the gratitude.
I love that so much. I was recently on a coaching call, being coached, not being the coach, which is always a beautiful moment. And one of my colleagues said that when she started this year, she had to have a factory reset, right? And I've been really sitting with that process of like, what does it mean to reset something? And I feel like that's what you're speaking to. As business owners, as entrepreneurs, we have to reset in order to be able to get clarity, but also to be able to be in joy, because we got branding, we got marketing, we got to pay people, we got to pay ourselves, we got taxes, there's just so many things that come in between us and sometimes the joy factor and the reasons that we started our brand. So let's talk a little bit about your brand, because, to be transparent with you, fam, the reason I invited you here was because I seen your brand and I was like, this is powerful. Like, just the fact that you're calling people icons, and many of the people probably don't even see themselves, right, as business owners yet, right? Like, it's just a call to action just in the name. So tell our audience a little bit about, number one, how you started working with creators, and how you started working with your number one creator, which is yourself, right? Like, how did you come up with this particular name, branding? Take us down the journey.
Okay, so I will do this. I'll be mindful of time as I take you out through the journey of how to think. Okay, so let's rewind. Over a decade ago, I had came out with 2 books. And those 2 books are one is very controversial, even though the contents are not, just the title. And then so 2 books came out. I was introduced to a person at that time who was here in Oklahoma City. Her name was April Franks. And she so people keep talking about, we need to get together because we seem like the only 2 Black people in Oklahoma City who have written books recently. And so we did. And then about 3 months later, she said, you know what? You should come with me to Lisa Nichols' conference. I'm like, well, who is Lisa Nichols? This is 2013. And she says, remember, The Secret? I said, I don't know anything about The Secret. She said, well, she's the only Black woman in the book and the movie. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, well, she's doing a conference. So I went to the conference. Had nothing to get there. I drove a 1998 black Mustang from Oklahoma City to San Diego in one hit because I did not have money to stay in a hotel. To the point that when I got to San Diego, I came in and stayed at a hostel and could not even pay for early check-in the hostel that was down the street from the conference. So I slept in the parking lot of the conference and then asked them to use their bathroom so I could change clothes so I could look like $1 million when I walked into the conference. And that changed everything. That conference changed absolutely everything for me, because that's when I found out that people will pay you for what you know and not just what you do. Changed everything. And then I started to take action with the information that I did have. And it just kept going and going and going and going. Fast forward, I say about 4 years ago, I've had multiple brands, by the way. So if you're out there like, well, it just has to be perfect, I'm here to tell you right now, I've had 5 brands under what I do because things clicked differently for me and the audience. Again, me and the audience. So at that, I started out with something called Genius Academy. At this time, it's still Genius Academy, and people are not working with me. Well, they're working with me, but they're not giving me testimonials. And I'm asking them, so why won't you give me a testimonial? And they respond with, oh, because you're queer.
Wow.
And my church people know who you are because you're friends with them on social media. So I can't do that. And that got me in a level of pissosity that was very real. And so because of that, what I did, I changed everything, and I went down the queer path. So I changed everything. I did. Like, it was the queer money.
You said, okay, I'm gonna double down on it since that's what's happening. I'm just gonna double down on this brand.
I'm like, let's go then. So it was the Queer Money Gang. I had the podcast was the Entrepreneurial Show. Like, it was just full hill queer. And the thing about it, I got a lot of traction that way. I was able to get into Forbes that way because I had just owned it. I owned being Black and queer and in the business space. And then I lost the trademark for a queer, because there's a brand called Queer Money. It was still close to Queer Money Gang. Thank you. And I did not win that trademark. And so I'm thinking, okay, what do I do now? So then that went to Leveaux Executive Solutions. I thought I was going to do it that way. Then I had to remember, if I sell it where the value is with me, there's a nugget there. Then I went to the Wealth Spa, and then when I put that up, people didn't say it right. And then when they were referring to that, like, oh, you own a spa? Like, no, I don't. It's the Wealth Spa. Oh, you're a financial industry? No. So then I just started to realize, what do I want to give people? I want people to know how divine they are. I desire to be a reminder to their divinity. However, for the most part, people won't allow me to call them gods because they think I'm being Kanye with it. But I'm not. If you know about Neville Goddard or Abraham Hicks, you know from the intention that I say that. I'm not saying that in an egotistical way or in a way that I'm bigger, you're smaller. I mean a collective God body. That's what I'm referring to. But people don't really understand that. So I was like, if I can't call you a god, what can I call you? An icon. And then being queer identified completely brings on, the house of, if you know anything about ballroom, that ballroom and, the voguing scene and Paris is Burning, all of that played a direct part in me naming it what I named it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what's so really powerful about this, particularly about this story, is imperfect action. I feel like every time you led with that as your brand was shifting. So are there any tips that you want to give like other entrepreneurs who might be going through a rebrand right now? Like, one, how do you let go of the old brand? Because sometimes there's that emotional attachment, right? And then 2, how do you create clarity for the new?
So in regards to creating a new brand, so you have something and you have clarity now that something else can work. First off, be grateful that you even had the ability to see that. A lot of times people don't see that, and they're 20 years behind because they're not willing to see that. So be grateful for that. Next thing is It's okay to start over. It's completely okay. How many tools, products, services did Apple put out? Did Coca-Cola put out? Did McDonald's put out? They launched things that had multi-million dollars behind those launch campaigns, and they failed miserables, including movies. There are movies that done the same thing, totally bombed. And guess what? No one died. It's completely okay. Everything will be okay. So remember that everything will be okay. But I need you to take, like you were saying, I need you to take complete action, imperfect action to make that happen. And there's something else I wanted to say, because along your last question, what was your last question just now?
About getting the clarity, or about letting go? Both sides.
The letting go. So here's the thing. Let's take WellSpa. WellSpa had a direct relational tugging point with me. And the reason why, because someone that I was engaged to helped me create the WellSpa. So not only am I releasing a logo, a brand board, a color scheme. No, I'm releasing something that was created in the midnight hours in a very intimate setting with someone I adore, that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. And I sometimes I want people to be reminded that entrepreneurship, it sounds good that, it's not personal, it's business. There are so many personal things that are happening along this business journey that people have no idea about. Like, it took everything for me to let WellSpa go, because it meant I had to let them go too.
You better preach. So what I'm hearing, is that you also are doing some healing work in this process, and often tell people, I was talking to my dad about this around the holidays, because he asked me, how's business going? And I said, business is going well, but it's changing me. And he was like kind of scared, like, oh, what kind of change? And I was like, I'm doing a lot of like healing, like around like money and scarcity and fear and doubt. And, like it's more of a therapy process than it's just me like running payroll and making money, like, like the glamour side of it. So for you, it definitely seems like you've been on this healing process. Now, the icon side, the God side, have the services changed, or are they the same as what you were doing at the WellSpa? Are you providing more refined services or different services at this point in your journey? So
yes and no. It's like you just alluded to. It's the refinement of it. So my very first coaching thing that I ever sold was for $500 for a group of Black men that were attending University of Oklahoma that wanted to start a conglomerate, and they wanted to hire me for 6 months, and I charged them $500 for 6 months. Let me just say, first off, never again, baby Jesus, never again.
We all make the mistake. And I don't know what's so attractive about $500, but we all that's the number.
But I was in the commissary on base in Oklahoma City, jumping up and down when that thing came through. I'm like, it really happened. So I was ecstatic that it happened. However, it will never happen again in that way. So I say that because I supported them by making sure they had the business structure set up. I made sure they had understanding of what planning was, making sure they understand a strategy versus a tactic, making sure that action steps were taken, KPIs were implemented. So very, very business foundational type things was what I supported them with. Now, at this stage, I'm understanding that, yes, I'm doing all of that as well from a consultancy standpoint. However, the whole point of being an icon is for you to be able to create, position, and monetize your expertise. That's the entire point. Yes, there's a foundational aspect of business that must be talked about, must be nurtured. However, the whole point of why we're here is not just business in general. It is literally and only to create, position, and monetize your expertise so that you are known in your industry as what? An icon.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm sure you spend time, right? Like really refining and deciding who you want to work with. I know you mentioned military. I know you're a veteran. Thank you so much for your service, number one. How do you feel the the things that you learned in the military have informed you as an entrepreneur? Because so many folks that I meet that are killing it often have some background in the military. And I really believe it's because y'all got some kind of discipline, that some of us others that have been civilians our whole life have to kind of, get into. But y'all be up at 5, it's easy for you to get the work done. You get to the bag a lot quicker just from some of that. But I'm sure there's some other things that you learned from that experience that have informed you as an entrepreneur as well.
I'll say the two things that the military has blessed me with from an experiential point is, number one, first off, it was not the discipline. Because that whole making up the bed thing, in the military, I'm like, I still don't understand why I got to do this. But I'm going to do this, I need to get promoted. So I'm going to make this bed. However, what did work for me is the persistence. So when you're about to complete basic training and you have to go on a 3-hour road march in the sands of South Carolina, uphill at 2:00 in the morning with the weapon and gear and a 100-pound backpack on, and you're tired because you've been sleeping in the woods for the last 3-4 days, and you're all these things, and you're ready to leave all these people behind. Like, persistence, being able to go through deployments successfully, persistence. And then the next thing is the persistence part, of course, is a me thing. The part that's for my clients is the ability to be completely obsessed by your overcoming. So in the military, especially as a commander, so I reached the rank of major. And so I've had command time, so I commanded 3 different units, and being able to ensure that the mission was done, but done in a way that no one was left behind, no matter what that took. If that took me respectfully declining what the colonel had to say at that moment, or standing with all feet and all knowing that the decision that I just made, even though we are in a combat zone, is going to work out for everyone's good, but not wavering in my decisiveness because I'm obsessed by my intention for them to overcome. So those two things have been the most significant for me.
Attention public speakers, coaches, and consultants. Ever dreamt of booking 5-figure speaking and consulting contracts? In just 5 days, I'm teaching my tried and tested system to elevate your speaking and consulting business. Forget the cold emails, bypass the salesy pitches. This challenge is about building genuine high-value connections. And here's a promise I have for you. With a commitment of just 1 to 2 hours a day for 5 days, you're going to witness transformative results. On day 1, you'll learn how to craft a business strategy without cold emails or paying to speak. Day 2 is all about you redefining your profile to attract decision makers ready to invest in your expertise. By day 3, you'll have your very own 5-figure sales system to turn contacts into clients. By day 4, we will have you automating your funnel with proven templates and scripts. And day 5, I'm going to teach you how to master the art of discovery calls with a step-by-step checklist and exclusive 5-figure sales secrets. Whether you're just stepping onto the speaking scene or you're a seasoned pro, this challenge is tailor-made for you. I'm going to teach you the exact strategies that have helped me help my clients make over $2 million in the last 2 years. The journey to a thriving 5-figure speaking and consulting business begins with this challenge. So are you ready to redefine your limits, accelerate your growth, and bask in the limelight of your success? I want you to join the 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Challenge now. Let's rewrite your success story together. Simply head over to speakingforprofit.com. You're going to click that button that says 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Gigs so you can get started with the challenge. Can't wait to see you there. All right, now back to the show. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. I love to hear it. And I'm really thankful that you had that experience, because you show up, aesthetically, definitely as a leader and a powerhouse. And I know that that's a part of it, but I'm really just proud of you for making it through that journey, because I don't know about all that 2:00 in the morning. That sounds like me, exiting stage left, to be honest with you. I can't make any promises there.
Understood. No shade or judgment on that at all.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about who are the clients you like working with, and who are the folks you like, nah, don't even get on the call with me. You know, because I'm being honest, who you love first. We always start with love. And then, you know, there's some people it's like, I'm good. Okay. Yeah.
What I have learned from all the clients that I've worked with and experiencing moments when they did not show up in their divinity and I did not show up in mine. Let's just be real about this. I am not Mr. Rogers. I say again, I am not Mr. Rogers. So there have been times where it sounded like a Boys in the Hood scene behind the scenes. Things did not go well. Things did not go well at all. And because of those experiences, I now know the people that I love to work with are people that are coachable, people that are willing to do what I tell them to do. Because if you know it all, you would have done it all. Why am I here?
Put that on the shirt. Just put it on the shirt. That would be great. That would be great.
If you know so much, why'd you hire me? Like, why did you hire me? I'm telling you to do this thing and you're bucking me. Like, why would you buck the person that is committed to you? Like, why would you do that? Why are you sabotaging like the plan? That seems weird. That seems really weird. And I know there are layers to that I don't desire to unpack. I don't desire to unpack that. Even though I have the acumen to do so, I don't desire it, and I won't. So and I can tell very early on. And when I say, yes, there are some times where it's just a simple, Asa, I want this. Okay, here's the payment link and go. Well, if it's something like a one-off, I can completely do that. Like, especially like, for instance, a social media content calendar for like 30 days. I'm going to send you a form. You're going to fill it out. I'm going to do it. Be done. However, if we're going to be working together, I've learned that process just needs to be a little bit longer. So I love the fact if you're listening and you haven't added an application process, I'm telling you right now, add it. Because the person who was unwilling to fill out the application will be unwilling to fill out the Jot form or the Google form or whatever in order for the onboarding to take place, or in order for the brand to be made different, or in order for the sales process to begin. I'm telling you, there are so many things early on that you lend a blind eye to because you're in financial excitement. But financial excitement, if you're not clear, will cloud your operational reality. Financial excitement will cloud operational reality if you aren't looking at it in a way that supports you. So yes, of course, ring the bell, do the clacking, go online. I made the sale. Happy for you. And watch how they move now. Watch how they move, because you may need to do a 48-hour refund because they are not willing to be supported in the way you want to support them.
Yeah, that's so real about the application. I remember when I first started, I would just send a Zoom link, like, you know, just get on the call with me. And then I remember I got on a call and this person talked me to something. I don't know what they were talking about. And I said, you know what? I got to get this together. And I was on a call with a coach and they said, if you don't have an application, it shows that you don't have any boundaries. Imagine who you're going to attract with that kind of energy. And it just, I mean, when I tell you it hit the heart, I said, oh, let me get this together. So, then I went and looked at other applications. I said, what questions are they asking? Because I know some people are probably listening to this. What should I put down? Really depends on your brand, your service, and your business. We can't give that to you here on this episode, but go explore other people and what they have. And that's always fun for me to kind of funnel hack and see what's out there. Because sometimes I'll be like, this is a great question. Sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Like you said, I do not even choose. I don't even want to know the answer to that. Because if I ask that, then that means that's something we're going to have to talk more about. And I don't want to know that. Like, right. So that's really beautiful for you and your brand. Tell me about like who you're working with right now that you're excited about, and what does that look like in the day to day, right? Because what I want to know is people are going to go and they're going to click on your page and they're going to be like, this brand is bomb. I'm never going to be that. But I want people to know, like, what's your day to day, what you're doing with your clients, so that they can see behind that it's a human. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. So there are two different worlds or two different avatars that we support. If you never heard the word avatar, think target market, hell, person, the person that we like to support. So on one end, we have individuals who, yes, they know things, but they have no idea how to create, position, and monetize that particular expertise. And so our desire is to support them on either a do-it-yourself or a done-with-you service or offering, meaning we're going to provide them so much content and so many action steps so that they can do what they need to do to make a difference for themselves, especially monetarily in a revenue type of way. And so we give them all those different things. And those we call the emerging icons. Got it. Or no, aspiring. If you are aspired to be an icon, that's where you start. They only have another group over here. This group over here allows us to what? Be obsessed with them. We love to be obsessed with our clients. And so that looks like people that are allowing us to do more done for you type things. So that means we are actually creating the book for them. We are doing the brand shoot. We are doing the podcast show, like developing it from scratch, from the name to the art, everything for them. Even if we need to do government contract, like get them set up in a government contracted way, if that's what it takes for them to create, position, and monetize their expertise, then that's what it takes. Everybody is a little bit different. However, we love those individuals, and those individuals tend to be business owners who have $1 million in revenue businesses. So every year they're making $1 million minimum. And what they desire, they really want for me and my team to understand on the back end that $1 million just isn't enough for them. And for us not to judge them about that. Because if a millionaire or $1 million business owner says that to the public, like $1 million just isn't enough, you already know the type of feedback, shade, comments that are about to come. But in reality, these individuals, it's not enough, because when you're operating at that level, yes, you're making over $8,333 every single month. And yes, I understand money because I know how to break down $1 million. $8,333.33 every single month at least. But guess what? A lot of that is going to team. A lot of that's going to rent, to leases, leasing vehicles, just the operational side of the business. And they are looking for something that can bring in more money without the overhead. And when you're able to monetize your expertise, the overhead goes away. So it's not the same. So if you're so I'm working with a woman who has a chain of daycare centers, and she's been doing it for 25 years. And of course, what does she have? She has the brick and mortar of the business. She has to pay all of her childcare providers, everything that goes into that. But if I'm able to position her successfully with her book, with her course providing, her course offering, her podcast show, her speaking tour, what are we talking about as far as overhead? It's nothing compared to the business that they're already in. So that's the sweet spot that we are going further in 2024. I even made a post about it. I think it was yesterday or a day before. And I was like, it's 5:31. And here I am with more clarity about my target market. And I did not ask for this. And here it came. It just came. And that was what came. Like, wow, we really do support individuals that have $1 million businesses. We support them quicker, sooner, and faster than we do with those who are aspiring to be icons, because that's going to take a while, because they're using their 9 to 5. We love that. We have something to support them, but it's going to take longer.
Yeah, I love that difference that you're able to see within your avatar, because what I find is that oftentimes people are at that aspiring mode and they want to have emerging problems, right? They're trying to fix emerging problems. It's like, that's not even something for you to even worry about, boo. Like, let's just make a bag. Let's just secure a bag. Let's just get one bag, right? Like,
let's not secure 7. Let's secure 1.
Right?
Not
exactly.
7.
Because that's
a whole other thing.
Go on. What were you going to say?
That's a whole other thing about the conversations with a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, aspiring icons, and you are in this conversations around. I just try to get some wealth and some legacy. I'm like, you're using words that you have not built a foundation to sustain, and that's not shade and judgment. That's not humbling you. That's not anything. That's understanding where we are, because you can't get to Vegas if you don't understand that you're in Oklahoma City right now. If you are in Oklahoma City and you think you're in LA, baby, you are delusional. And so I'm not trying to humble you, sugar. I just want to tell you where you at. I just want to tell you where you at.
You just want to provide clarity, right? Clarity so that they can observe and do really good work, right? Because when we know where we're at, we can get to the next place. When we don't have that clarity, that's when we start to do things that are almost self-sabotaging and doesn't allow for people to grow. So I'm excited to see what this is going to bring for the brand in 2024. One more thing, and then, I definitely want to give you your time, because I know you got things and I got things, but you mentioned a team, right? And I think that is a space where a lot of entrepreneurs are at. Maybe they need to just hire one person. I always say some people they afraid to delegate. And it's like, if you would just delegate this one thing, boo, your business will grow so much quicker. And then some folks don't even need to do it yet. So when did you decide to bring on a team? What does your team look like? And what are some of your frameworks around supporting clients with that particular need?
So I'm gonna show y'all the dirty. All right, here come my laundry. All right. So for the longest time, I fought the idea of team.
Wow.
Because I took pleasure in overwhelming my clients with my own acumen. So my thing is, that came from a place of a fear of inadequacy. Because I was fearing that I was inadequate, I was doing my best to overwhelm my clients with action steps and doing all of those from me so that I can say, here is proof that I am wonderful. Yep, I did all that for years.
Ooh.
Years. Yeah, just out here, just looking crazy.
Just outside.
Just outside looking crazy. And thinking I'm all of that. I'm literally all of that. And I then realized, like, wow, I can stop having ulcers. You mean I can stop having ulcers? You mean I could go on a trip and not bring my laptop? What? Like, that's crazy. So team first started to look like outsourcing. I would maybe do a webinar and I would outsource the entire webinar to a team just to see what it would feel. I wouldn't do anything long term. I'd want to see what it could look like. And I didn't do it to say, now this is why I don't have a team. No, I did it so that I could know, okay, so maybe if I do it this way next, about this next project, it'll go better. That was the whole point. Like, okay, if I do it on this small thing, how could it look like if you go bigger? Okay. Now let's talk about last year. Last year, I started, because I was in the middle of a rebrand. Remember, I went from the Wealth Spa to House of Icons. Not only that, but I also joined a mastermind, like a legitimate mastermind for the first time, like with community and all the things. I actually joined one. And I was like, okay, so I'm learning from everyone, but I didn't want to put team in the middle of that, all those growing pains of getting new information from the mastermind, from these new coaches that are coaching me. I didn't want to do that. I didn't know how to do that. Let's just be very clear. I didn't know how. I didn't know how to take in all the information and then put that into someone in a very streamlined way. So it went back and forth with team last year, which also looked like I didn't know how to run no damn agency. I had started one because last year was the first year that I actually had an agency. But what I found out, I had put a container around my labor.
Oof.
I am still dealing with the decision to put a container around my labor and not truly having an agency in the most realist sense, an agency that allows me to move out. Because if I'm putting a container on my labor, but I'm calling it an agency, I still do not have the freedom that is given to a business owner. I am still at a freelancer level, and I just made it pretty. That's all I did. I made it pretty. And that was 2023, making crap look pretty.
You did make it look pretty too. It was looking real pretty.
It just drowning. Black behind just drowning. So that was 2023. I don't desire to repeat that level of 2023. So now what it looks like is now we have already had the conversation. We have an organization that's going to support us with a online business manager, as well as the different core functions that it takes to run an organization, i.e. sales, operations, finance, sales, marketing, finance, and operations. So that's what's next for us. So that'll be finalized within the next 30 days. And so that we can finally move forward, because we didn't hear about them. We didn't know about them last year. We just found out about them. And so that's how we're going to be implementing team in the future, because that's going to free me up. Because like I said, I'm just now getting out of that, even though I know what to do, I know how to do it. But in agency life and in coaching life, there has to be somebody to keep your behind accountable.
Yeah.
To the system, to the clients, to the overall work. Somebody got to be able to pull you on the carpet that you listen to. Because you got a bunch of yes people that you hired, you're not listening to them. Then that defeats the whole purpose. I desire that. And the reason why I desire that, because House of Icons, I'm not dying with, I'm not going to be 80 years old with House of Icons. This is going to be sold one day. I understand my exit strategy. This will be sold, but I need to build it in a way that allows the viability to be there.
Definitely.
Yeah, if it's not
Thanks for being so vulnerable.
You're most welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for being really vulnerable and sharing that, because imperfect action is the theme of this episode, but also like really being honest with yourself. And I think that that's why you're excelling as a leader. You're not like out here trying to perform. And that's why I love so many of your posts on Facebook, because oftentimes they're posts that are challenging us, and they're the reels that are going through your day or through your time. So that clarity, right? Like you're pushing that out even in the content that you're producing. And I'm super appreciative of it.
But I thank you for saying it, because sometimes I don't know how people are taking it, because a lot of times people aren't just saying things. But my thing is, I've always seen, when I first got into this industry over a decade ago and up till now, you know, there have been people that have been doing Cat Williams-like things in our industry for years and years. Mm-hmm. And I've always thought, well, if I just tell on myself, won't nobody have nothing to say. Like, yep, I did it. I was not good. I was not delivered yet. I did that. And I know better, and we're going to keep pushing. So yeah, I might have done something that was unsavory, not unethical, not illegal, not immoral. Those are the three things that we just don't do. Not illegal, not unethical, not immoral. But yeah, I messed up. I really did. Or we collectively messed up. And I say we because it might have been that team member. I didn't even know about it, but guess what? I pay them, and it's my organization. So a leader is responsible for everything that does and does not happen.
Exactly. How can folks work with you? How can they become an icon? What do those steps look like? So
first of all, if you're interested in being an icon, number one, just know that everyone in the world doesn't have that sense about themselves, that knowing, that awareness about themselves, that something could be better. So honor the fact that you are blessed with, that doesn't have to be a burden. of you wanting to be better, of you desiring more. That doesn't have to be a burden. So number one, thank you. Be grateful for that awareness that there's more. Because you can think it is there. That's just it. You can think it is there. So the next thing is what I would love to do is one of two things. No, it's just one. It's just one. I would love to find out how we can support you. So the way we do that is just go to iconuniversity.co. That's iconuniversity.co. And you will see where, you can go ahead and enroll into Icon University. And you'll also see a place where you can Icon University, I don't know yet. Maybe you need to find out why this is going to help you specifically. So we have something called the Icon Prescription. The Icon Prescription literally says, okay, so we look at, okay, this is what hurts for you. This is what you want to do. Let's prescribe you something that may like the Icon University and may not. But you can get both of those by going to iconuniversity.co. Because if you don't want to enroll, we can help you with what's next. Even if
y'all, we're gonna put yes. And that's the big thing, y'all. I want y'all to know, number one, the people we bring on here are legit, and we're trusting them, and we trust you to make your biggest choice. But sometimes these type of prescriptions or clarity calls will give you an opportunity to maybe work with that person or maybe be connected to someone else. So take some time, like you said, to get the clarity, but don't be afraid to step in and move into the next version of yourself. I really do believe that Icon University is the space where you can explore some of that, and it'll be a beautiful opportunity. So I'm really excited. We're going to put it in the show notes, y'all. So go on and click there. You'll get more information. Family, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for honoring us with your time, with your energy, with your story. And I'm already got my wheels turning. I think I'm about to bring you back maybe for, a Black queer entrepreneur panel in the near and dear future. But it's just been amazing to hear the voice of the person I'm following on Facebook that's inspiring and doing so much amazing work, and to really be able to hear your story. So thank you so much.
And welcome, and thank you for having me on. I do not take this lightly that you invited me, that you allowed me to talk to the people who love you, because I honor that relationship. So thank you as well.
Attention public speakers, coaches, and consultants. Ever dreamt of booking 5-figure speaking and consulting contracts? In just 5 days, I'm teaching my tried and tested system to elevate your speaking and consulting business. Forget the cold emails, bypass the salesy pitches. This challenge is about building genuine high-value connections. And here's a promise I have for you. With a commitment of just 1 to 2 hours a day for 5 days, you're going to witness transformative results. On day 1, you'll learn how to craft a business strategy without cold emails or paying to speak. Day 2 is all about you redefining your profile to attract decision makers ready to invest in your expertise. By day 3, you'll have your very own 5-figure sales system to turn contacts into clients. By day 4, we will have you automating your funnel with proven templates and scripts. And day 5, I'm going to teach you how to master the art of discovery calls with a step-by-step checklist and exclusive 5-figure sales secrets. Whether you're just stepping onto the speaking scene or you're a seasoned pro, this challenge is tailor-made for you. I'm going to teach you the exact strategies that have helped my clients make over $2 million in the last 2 years. The journey to a thriving 5-figure speaking and consulting business begins with this challenge. So are you ready to redefine your limits, accelerate your growth, and bask in the limelight of your success? I want you to join the 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Challenge now. Let's rewrite your success story together. Simply head over to speakingforprofit.com. You're going to click that button that says 5 Days to 5-Figure Speaking Gigs so you can get started with the challenge. Can't wait to see you there. All right, now back to the show.
Oh, and forgot one more thing.
Yes, go.
For those of you who are on and you love what Evolve is up to, I'm letting you know that right now, if you say it, I'll make sure that you all have 50% off of Icon University. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
snap. Y'all, we out here giving gifts. So make sure y'all look at them show notes. Like, that is a blessing. Thank you so much for honoring the community with that. That's really dope. But y'all don't slip up on that. That's a discount, but it's not a discount of your time, of your labor. and of the love of your business, it's a discount on the investment. We need you to still invest that time and show up as a bomb person, because fam is trusting you with this opportunity. So thank you so much for that, y'all. Until next time, please get out there, tell someone new about your business and about your craft today. We only grow with building our audience by letting more people know. And I can't wait until our next interview. Until next time, peace.